It's time for Dodger baseball.
Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter.
The Dodgers are going to the World Series.
Bellinger hammers the ball. It's Bellinger's turn. Lifts a fly ball to left center field. Back towards the wall. It is gone. Mookie with another 3-home run
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. The Dodgers get the win. They beat the Rockies 5-1 tonight, and Butane is back. A dominating performance by Walker Buehler, 11 strikeouts, 4 hits, an earned run for Walker Buehler, and by far his best outing of the 2020 season. The Dodgers, I see some of you in the comments talking about the Dodgers first to 20 for the Dodgers tonight. Their record improves to 20-8. That puts them on pace. If this was a 162-game season, they'd be at a 116-win pace. This Dodger team, some bumps in the road early on, but they figured it out, and they're the best team in all of Major League Baseball. We're going to break down all of tonight's action, but you know how we get things kicked off here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. Leave me all your Dodger takes. Give me those thoughts, comments, and questions. But first, let me know where you're representing Dodgers Nation from tonight. Give me your city, zip code, area code. Throw those into the comments and show some love for Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler hadn't gone 5 starts without getting a win, and he gets one tonight. And Walker Buehler was laser focused, and he was back to his old dominant self tonight, mowing down Rockies left and right. What is it with Walker Buehler and the Rockies? First, you had 2018 Game 163 where he dominates them. Last year, 16 strikeouts on June 22nd, and tonight, another virtuoso performance by Butane. But here we go. Let's jump right into the comments here. What up, Dodgers Nation, from Frankie G. Going to be first to 40 as well from Brian Hanna. We got B2B pitching back to beast mode from Eduardo, the 805 representing Brian's Point. Who want to make a chat snap for Dodgers? Plug in your own show there. Patrick Gagne, Dodgers with 20 wins in first place. Sounds awesome. Go Dodgers. Jacob from Victorville, Walker was magical tonight. Steve, that's right, boys in blue. Eduardo, cheers, D-Mac. What up, Eduardo? Cheers. Hey, we needed that. I don't know if you saw. I kind of felt like this was the night for Walker Buehler to get things going in the right direction. And heading into tonight, that batting average against for Walker Buehler was not bad. It was just a lack of command, a lack of control. And tonight he put it all together against this Rockies team, and you just felt this one coming. And we're already about 2 months away from the start of summer camp, and that's right around the time where Walker Buehler starts to kick it into gear. He's now in 4th gear now. He was in like 1st, 2nd gear. Now he's about in 3rd and 4th gear, and he's starting to get cooking at the right time. And after Clayton Kershaw, 2 back-to-back days with double-digit strikeout performance, the Dodgers have 2 legitimate aces at the front of their rotation, and tonight's development was huge because if Walker Buehler goes out there and he pitches his last out against the Angels, it was his worst outing. So he goes from getting his worst outing of the year to having by far his best outing, and it was a great thing to see from Walker Buehler tonight. He was just phenomenal out there. He was sensational, mowing guys out, he had 14 swings and misses in tonight's game, and he was getting swings and misses from all 4 of his pitches. You saw he was locating that cutter, locating that curveball, that slider, and when he's painting the strike zone with fastballs, that's when he becomes unhittable because they start chasing his out pitches outside of the zone and his breaking stuff, and Walker Buehler is a dominant pitcher, and that was just a great to see. But let's jump back in these comments. How do you guys give me a grade? Give me a grade right here for Walker Buehler's performance tonight. Let me know down below in the comments how do you feel about it. I'm giving Walker Buehler, it's not his A+. We've seen him do A+. I don't think he went Well, he goes 6. I'm going to give him an A- for Walker Buehler, because I have high standards for Walker Buehler, and you know that he can give you 8 or 9. I know there was some no-hitter vibes out there early, some perfect game vibes out there, because the pitch count was really low early on for Walker Buehler. He was very efficient early on in this game, and you saw that throughout. So Walker Buehler, well, let's jump back in the comments, then we'll do a little deep dive into this one. But here we go, Brian Hanna. We got Rockies are crumbling from Jose Rod, Anthony, Las Vegas. If I don't get to your comment, keep coming with them, and I'll get back to them. We'll circle back to some of these comments. Patrick Gagne, back from the 626 in Southern California. Laura Perry, bleeding Dodger blue from Johnson City, Tennessee. We got Tennessee. That's the home of the great Mookie Betts. Paolo Seager from Greg Tucker. Any idea what the magic number is? I was thinking about that before this game, because this win puts the Dodgers well out in front. The Dodgers have created tons of separation with the NOS. Like I said, the NOS is the Dodgers and the rest, and you're starting to see that separation. 20-8 for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Mash that heart button. If you're watching on Twitter, hit that retweet button, and if you're watching on Facebook, share so they can join the action and celebrate the Dodgers' 20 wins on the year. Like I said, that's 116 win pace for the Dodgers. They've won 14 of 15 against the Rockies at home. 14 of their last 15 games. They just dominate this Rockies club, and they've won 9 of their last 10. And they're now 6 games ahead of the Colorado Rockies in the NL West. And like Joe Davis was pointing out, Max Muncy gets that strikeout. It would have been the first time since 2006 where the Dodgers didn't go down swinging in a game. Hasn't happened in all of Major League Baseball since 2017. Tonight, the Dodgers, 5 runs on 10 hits, 1 in the first, 3 in the fourth, and 1 in the sixth. And how about, 7, but yeah, back here. We got, and the Dodgers are going to face this Rockies team quite a bit. In their last 33 games, the Dodgers will face this Rockies club 9 more times, 6 at Dodger Stadium, 6 at home, and the Dodgers are now 16-4 against the Rockies, or they were 15-14 against the Rockies in 2019, now 16-4 dating back then. The Rockies are now 1-14 at Dodger Stadium since 2018, and now the Dodgers, in that span, are beating them by a plus 70 run differential. So the Dodgers feast on these Rockies, and they stack wins against them, and it's happening once again. A great start for the Dodgers. Dodgers rock from Lorraine. Annie Happy, Las Vegas, Nevada, representing the 702 from Mark Dog. We got Let's Go from Landon Sports Talk. We got Ryan. What's up, Doug? I wasn't able to see the game tonight. I had no doubt we'd win from El Paso, Texas. Well, hey, that's what we do on the post-game show. We'll go ahead and recap that for you so you don't miss out on any of the action. Felix, an A. Jose Rod, an A. By the way, throw your Walker Buehler grades in there. We got Tina G-Man replying to Ryan, I didn't get to see the game either. Great win, and Cody is starting to turn around. Kevin, that's a great point, because Cody Bellinger is starting to turn it around, and he's done it quietly, and you're seeing home runs from Cody Bellinger. He's hitting over 300 in his last 7 games. Cody Bellinger tonight, another solid night for Cody Bellinger. He's lifting the ball again. He's getting hard contact, and Cody Bellinger is rounding into form at the right time for this Dodgers club. So Cody Bellinger right now is really starting to come around. Like I said, the Dodgers have not reached their peak. The Dodgers have not peaked as a team, and they're 20-8. Just say that to yourself. Let me repeat that. The Dodgers are 28, the best record in Major League Baseball, and we're almost halfway through the season, and tonight, nearly halfway through the season, is the night that the ace of their staff, Walker Buehler, pitches his best game. So the Dodgers could really run away with the National League. They basically are. They're going to run away with the NL West, and now it's about establishing themselves as having the best record in all of Major League Baseball. But yeah, great point on Cody Bellinger. He had another solid night for Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger reached on his first 3 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 walk. And tonight, Cody Bellinger, he goes 2 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. So Cody Bellinger is definitely rounding in the form. And, let's recap some of this game as far as the Dodgers scoring goes, because we're going to get back to Walker Buehler. And tonight, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 92 pitches, 67 for strikes, 14 for 22 on first pitch strikes, and 14 big swings and misses. So last outing, he got 9 swings and misses on 89 pitches, And like I said, when he pounds the strike zone, those secondary pitches become unhittable. He was making guys look foolish out there on some of these strikeouts, and he just, when he steps onto that mound, and like he did today, it was his mound, it was his game. You could see the fire in his eyes, and that fire is going to burn brighter in October. So, yeah, he was absolutely fantastic, and you love to see it because in the previous outings, he still had the gas. You still saw the velocity there. You saw the 98, the 97. What we didn't have is he didn't have the command of his slider and his curveball, and today he was getting big swings and misses with that slider and that curveball. And he got his swagger back. He definitely got his swagger back tonight. Walker, Butane, Buehler. The bullpen, another outstanding performance. A 1-2-3 seventh for Adam Kolarek, a 1-2-3 eighth for Ferguson. And then Kenley Jansen came in and just made easy work. Only 7 pitches for Kenley Jansen in that 9th inning. 6 of them for strikes. Steady dose of cutters, soft contact, easy flyouts. The perfect remedy for success for Kenley Jansen. So the Dodgers bullpen, they continue to dominate. The Dodgers bullpen, the best in Major League Baseball. Like I said, if you've been watching this show all season long, I said 2020 was going to be the year of the bullpen, and so far they've more than proven me right. This exceeded my expectations for this bullpen because right now they're sitting at a 1.85 ERA, and you got to look at that home runs per 9, a .48 home runs per 9 for this Dodgers bullpen. You know the bombs have gotten this bullpen in trouble in the past. Not anymore. So far, so good for this Dodgers bullpen. But let's jump back into the comments here. Something about the Rockies' 16 Ks last year from Jose Rod. Kevin, great win, and Cody starting to turn around. Tina or Jason, what Seager do you think is better, Corey Seager or Kyle Seager? Well, hey, Kyle Seager, he might have the better series, but Corey Seager got the win, and that's what it's all about. It's all about stacking these W's, and he took 3 of 4 from his brother. It's going to be a fun Thanksgiving for them, too, because that's just great, man. Can you imagine hitting a home run in the same game as your brother? Man, if that happened to me, that'd be absolutely insane because I don't even have a brother, so that'd be kind of wild. But Corey Seager is, to me, the better player. Corey Seager, when he's healthy, when he's not hurt by injuries, when he's not hurt by injuries, Corey Seager is, to me, a top 5 shortstop. There's no question. He's in the conversation for the best shortstop. The way that he can slug today, you saw Corey Seager get another double, his 6th double of the year, and yeah, Corey Seager is really phenomenal. Is just having a great year so far for this Dodger club. You love to see it considering the injuries he's had to sustain, the surgeries, but he's just having good. He looks healthy out there. And Corey Seager in this game, and for tonight's game, Corey Seager he was 1 for 4, but 2 big RBIs. 2 big RBIs for Corey Seager. And it all went down in that really the majority of the run scoring all went down in the 1 second here. Lost my comments. So yeah, coming into tonight, Corey Seager slashing 214, 241, 464. But tonight, I think he's on his way to having another hot streak. Another hot streak for Corey Seager in the 4th inning. That was the inning for the Dodgers offense. Pollock cranked that hanging breaking ball to left. That gave the Dodgers their 8th runner it was just the 4th inning. So the 8th runner on second in just the 4th inning. So the Dodgers, they had opportunities all night long. They didn't. They were 4 for 14 on the night with runners in scoring position. But when you have Walker Buehler dealing like he was, you don't need to give him too many runs, and they gave him 5, and that was more than enough. Beatty roped one into right. By the way, Matt Beatty is starting to really heat up. Matt Beatty is starting to really heat up. He's hitting the ball hard, lots of hard contact, and a great time for him to heat up with Edwin Rios going down. So Matt Beatty, he roped one into right. A.J. Pollock held up. This was a great play, too. One of the big plays of the night. A.J. Pollock held up with a late break from second, but he stays dialed in on the play, and Dino sends him home. Blackmon misses the cutoff, and he goes from second to home. Dodgers coaching comes through. Dino Ebel, the best third base coach in the game, nets the Dodgers a run, making it 2-0 Dodgers. And then Chris Taylor, he smacks a base hit to right on a 3-2 count. Probably the best at-bat of the night for this Dodgers offense. A fantastic at-bat, a great approach by CT3. Was down 0-2, worked his way back up in the count, and he slapped that slider on the outside corner to right to give the Dodgers runners on first and second with no outs. So you got double, single, single to start the fourth, and then they were hitting breaking balls. So that's another thing that I kind of want to point out with tonight's game is the Dodgers were starting to make solid contacts. They were getting RBIs and base hits on breaking balls, and you want to see that as the Dodgers become more multi-dimensional on offense as the season goes along. But you brought up Corey Seager, and that is where he really stepped up in this one. Corey Seager, he drilled one to right on one that just rolled to the corner. That scored Beatty and Taylor. And so you got a 2-out, 2-run double by Corey Seager, his 6th of the year. And the 4th hit for the Dodgers with runners in scoring position. That made it 4-0. And I thought that was a really interesting hit for Corey Seager, too. We know when he scores his doubles, he's working the gaps. That one, he rips it into right field, just roped it. And now Corey Seager, that gives him 6 RBIs in his last 5 games. And that was it for Gray. So nothing about the Dodger offense today. They were working that pitch count up against Gray. Gray has his struggles against the Dodgers. The Dodgers exploited those struggles, and just 3 2/3 innings pitched for Gray. And the Dodgers put up a crooked number in the 4th, scoring 3 runs on 4 hits. Pollock double, Beatty single, CT3 single, and a Seager double. But let's jump back into these comments. Give me your fire Dodger takes. Let me know. 20-8. So 20-8 for the Dodgers. Best from Santiago. No homers tonight and still got that W. Yeah, from Puppy. But the Dodgers, there's something like 13-4. I think they're 13-4 when they homer, and they feast off the home runs, and it's one indicator of success for the Dodger club. So tonight you score 5 runs, and you're getting a lot of hits. 10 hits for the Dodgers tonight. That's a promising sign because the Dodgers, they can beat you in a multitude of ways. They can do it with the home run ball. They can do it with their arms. They can win a pitcher's duel. They can win an offensive explosion. But if there's something to be said about this Dodgers offense is you want to start seeing them hit lefties more consistently, and you want to see them score with the small ball. Look, before the Dodgers went on their streak, that's kind of what got them going in that Padres game. A little bit of small ball got the Dodgers going. So if the Dodgers aren't hitting home runs and they're struggling, you know Dave Roberts and this club has that in their bag. So do you think the Dodgers should go after Mike Clevenger from Doyers? John Guerrero, Dodgers in beast mode. Manny Silva, 1st to 20. Sergio, great run Dodgers. Guadalajara from Sergio Baez, enjoy it. Victor Morales, and Beatty is a real baller. The kid is legit. Yeah, Matt Beatty to me, he's the hitman, right? He's a professional hitter. Matt Beatty is really locked in at the plate. He's seeing the ball well. He's finding pitches he knows he can attack, pitches he knows he can drive. He's making great contact at the moment. And heading into tonight, Matt Beatty, in his last 7 games, he was 6 for his last 14, hitting .429, slugging .714 with 4 RBIs and only 1 strikeout. So tonight, Matt Beatty, he goes 1 for 3 with an RBI, but he's just looking really locked in at the plate. Matt Beatty is getting it done on the offensive end. And like I said, with Edwin Rios going down, Matt Beatty stepping up towards the bottom of that lineup. They mentioned it during the broadcast tonight. The Dodgers lineup towards the bottom of the lineup, they're just dominating, and that just shows the depth of this Dodger team. They can beat you 1 through 6, but if you want to go 7 through 9 and throw in that DH, the Dodgers are averaging 272, which is first in all of Major League Baseball, slugging .470, which is first in all of MLB, and they're OPSing .822 with their 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters. So if that doesn't show you how deep and how talented this Dodger lineup is, I don't know what else will. Yeah, big contributions from the bottom of the lineup, and you love to see it. As far as Mike Clevenger goes, I think that it's a really interesting topic because with Walker Buehler showing out like he did tonight, Clayton Kershaw yesterday, he wasn't hitting that 93-94 on the gun like he was against the Angels, but he was mastering his slider and his curveball. When you can throw a curve and a slider like that and locate it in the zone, then that 91, I think that Kershaw needs to keep it at 92, 93 to be the Kershaw that Dave Roberts said a few days ago that this Kershaw in 2019 is potentially more dominating than the 2017 version of Clayton Kershaw, and that Clayton Kershaw dominated Game 1 against the Astros, throwing 11 strikeouts with no walks. So if you have Buehler pitching like he is tonight, that's an ace. No question about it, a top 5 to 7 pitcher in the league. Clayton Kershaw pitching like he has for 3 of his 4 starts this year, you're looking at a top 10 guy. So that's the front of your rotation right there. Urias is the big question, and is Tony Gonsolin and Dustin May, will they be able to sustain everything they've developed? Will they be able to build on that momentum and be contributors towards the back of this rotation towards the end of the year? So if those guys can stay consistent and they can keep building and improving, then I think that you don't really need to make that move for another starter. And Julio Urias, too. Julio Urias really struggled with command. He had his worst start up in Seattle. So I'm still waiting for Julio Urias. Like I said, with Julio, it always feels like we're waiting for something that's not going to happen, but I'm not selling my stock on Julio Urias. To me, I still believe in his stuff. The velocity's there. The soft contact numbers are where they need to be. It's just a matter of putting it all together. We saw the improvement that Walker Buehler made from one game to the next, from his worst outing to his best outing. If Julio Urias can accomplish the same feat, I think that the Dodgers don't need to trade for Mike Clevinger. Now, I've been high on Clevinger for a while because, look, he has stuff that plays up in the postseason. You saw what he did in 2018 against the Houston Astros, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, and I think 4 or 5 innings. And his stuff will play up. The velocity numbers, he didn't get off to the greatest start this year. Gave up more home runs than he's used to. But the way that he kind of betrayed his locker room, you wonder, does he have character issues that would get in the way of his Dodger career? I think that he rocks the boat a little too much for a 60-game season trade, because that's a quick turnaround to make that trade and only have a few weeks before the postseason begins to really acclimate to your teammates. So I think the Dodgers should stand pat, go with the team that got him there. If there's a crazy deal out there where the Dodgers can get a dominating starter like a Lance Lynn, who's having a great year with the Texas Rangers. He won a World Series in 2011, and I just love his dog. I love his dog, and I love watching him pitch. He's one of my favorite pitchers in the game to watch pitch. If there's a move to be made, I think that he's a guy that kind of fits in better with this roster. And then, of course, there's Trevor Bauer. A lot of people want to talk about Trevor Bauer and his checkered past when it comes to character issues. But, hey, I want to stack these dubs, right? I want to end this drought. And I wouldn't take on just anyone. There would be a pretty significant vetting process before a move was made, but that's why you trust in Andrew Friedman. Andrew Friedman is a guy that you know is going to make a deal if there's a deal to be made, and it'll be with the Dodgers' best interest. He's not going to give up prize prospects and guys that he knows are going to be good. But how do you guys feel? Let me know down below in the comments. Should the Dodgers make any trades? And if they should it be for a pitcher? Should it be for maybe a right-handed bat? Should it be for a bullpen piece? Let me know down below in the comments. We got Muskogee, Oklahoma from Bruce. Brian Hanna, Cody looking to make contact and not frustrated with his at-bats. Really happy to see. Ryan, yeah, there's bizarre that we're doing great this year. Haven't gotten to our peak yet. Johnny, you're the guy who paid my meal today, Johnny. What up, Johnny? Everything is coming together from Rob Alexander. No Mookie, no problem. Great point. Mookie Betts, that's why you sign with a club like the Los Angeles Dodgers. Because with the Dodgers, you can take a night off, and your starter can ball out, and your offense can generate runs, and you can be healthy and rested for the postseason. So Mookie Betts, that was my preseason pick for MVP. I thought he was going to be the first player since Frank Robinson to win MVPs in both leagues, and right now it feels like he's on pace to accomplish that. And that's a great point right there, is that this team scored runs and 10 hits without Mookie Betts. And I do have to point something out, though, something that hurts for tonight. No hits for Austin Barnes. Austin Barnes goes hitless tonight, and unfortunately Austin Barnes' hitting streak is over. So he just missed a home run, by the way, in the 6th inning. In the 6th inning, CT3 doubles on the first pitch from Hoffman, advances on a wild pitch. Then Austin Barnes, a productive out, just misses a home run, but the sac fly made it 5-1 Dodgers. And Austin Barnes, you love what you're seeing from Austin Barnes. Just a massive turnaround for the guy. And if he continues to be to give you just like 250, if he can give you a competitive at-bat and an occasional single, you know this pitching staff loves the way he pitch. They love his catching prowess. He calls a great game. He's got great pitch framing instincts, and an 8-game hitting streak. That was the longest hitting streak of his career. He was hitting .481 with a homer and 4 RBIs in the streak, and they needed it. They needed him to step up. With Will Smith going out with an injury, they couldn't just get an automatic out, so he stepped up at the right time because he was 2 for 22 on August 11th, and that day he gets a couple of base hits, becomes BFFs with Mookie Betts, and the rest is history for Austin Revenge Season Barnes. I mean, he's just hitting the ball hard. He's Austin Barrels, right? So, Harold, Mad Max gets the worst calls, and I feel it's making an impact on his batting. That's actually a really great point right there. Max Muncy has had his run-ins with the umpire crews. Look, at Seattle, he was just talking to himself, okay? He was a little too sensitive on that one. I don't feel like he should have gotten thrown out at all whatsoever. Tonight he goes 1 for 4, heading in his batting average about 172. Max Muncy's a guy, we need his power. Back-to-back seasons with 35 home runs, and not just any home runs. We're talking about big-time postseason home runs on top of those 35 apiece in the regular season. And you know he's a guy that, first of all, no one pimps a homer like Max Muncy. He just flips the bat. You see the swag. You see the way he carries himself out there. He gives this team a certain attitude at the plate. In his last 7 games, 4 for 22, hitting a .182. Last 15, hitting 154. But you're starting to see those home runs come back. And those home runs are what we need for Max Muncy. The slugging is there at .455. So he's coming around. And like you pointed out, the umpires have not done him very many favors there at the plate. So I agree with you 100% on that one. Big facts from – I already lost the comment, but we got Lee, Daughters on Fire from Lee Grubbs. Watch out, baseball. Jason, I used to live in Seattle, and when Kyle got a hit, I would yell, your brother is better. I like that, Jason. Tina G-Man, Free Joe Kelly. Great transition there. Everyone throw a hashtag Free Joe Kelly in the comments. Fred Ramos, my boy Ferris Bueller was money tonight. Exactly, Fred. Bueller was back. He was dealing. Jose Rod, I'm loving both Dodgers and Lakers are playing and winning. That's a great point. We haven't experienced this in 8 years, to have the the Lakers postseason coincide with the Dodgers, and you just love to see it. I don't spend very much time outside of this place. I'm just pretty much watching games around the clock. He is the hitman from Jose Rod. Jason, small ball, that's the Dodger way. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. Look, that's how the Dodgers won a World Series in the Sandy Koufax era. The 63-65 team with Maury Wills, it was get on, get over, get in, get him a couple runs, and Sandy would get you a World Series. So that is a formula that has worked in the past, but not in this era. The Dodgers, in this win streak, Dodgers are scoring, they're just balling out of control. They're averaging over 8 runs a game in the win streak, and right now, the Dodgers, by the way, just in general, they just dominate this Rockies club. The Rockies are now 82-144 at Dodger Stadium. And that Rocky team, they've now lost 10 of their last 12. So the Dodgers are burying the Rockies like they always do, their annual burying of the Colorado Rockies. But, back to the comments right here. We could break down Walker Buehler's performance here a little more in depth, but let's jump in some of these comments a little more. And look who didn't even play tonight from Dan. Kershaw seems rejuvenated from Jose Rod. Verdell, Dodgers can win games with or without the long ball. They've proven that on a couple occasions this year. And you want to see that. You want to see that because, look, it's just about getting runs. It's like home runs are the great equalizer, and we're in the era of the long ball. But when you have Walker Buehler's 8th career 10 strikeout game, and you have arms like that on the mound, you don't have to score very many runs, but that's what this offense does. And we've seen the Dodgers have issues scoring in playoff series in the past. So You want to keep that up, but the Padres beating them, cheating Astros right now, hey, that's good. I have to admit, I do like that. The Slam Diego Padres with all the grand slams. I vote for Doug for post-game MVP, best out there. My man, Jason, thanks for the shout-out. Hey, man, Dodgers Nation, you guys are the best fans in the game. This show is pretty much your show. Bullpen is fire. It's your show. I'm just hosting it. But keep with those fire comments, guys. Bauer wants to be a Dodger. Chet Croy, hey, I could see Trevor Bauer wanting to be a Dodger. He's a hometown kid. Believe he went to Hart High School. And then he went to UCLA. He was on that 2011 UCLA team that came up short against South Carolina in the College World Series. He won the Golden Boot Award. And then Garrett Cole will go on to be the number 1 pick in that draft. Trevor Bauer was the number 3 pick in that draft to Arizona. But look, Trevor Bauer, his stuff, I like when he does that Conor McGregor thing, that little swaggy walk after strikeouts. And you see his stuff this year. He's touching 98. And he's a guy that, look, his arm, it's in his walk year. If the Dodgers want to explore that and Cincinnati isn't in contention, I think that you might see some crazy stuff. But I'm just weary of trading for someone where there's only a couple weeks before the postseason begins. But with the Dodgers as they're situated, don't forget about Alex Wood and Ross Stripling. Ross Stripling has been really struggling of late, giving up the long ball. He needs to get right and have a better performance. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that we'll see what happens. I think in the next couple of weeks, if teams start to have a slide in victories and GMs and ownership groups put the word out there, the guys are available, Andrew Freeman is going to make a move if he thinks that move would lead to postseason success. And I think that, look, if you're going to make a trade, you make a trade for starting pitching. I think this offense is solid, especially with the universal DH. And like you said, Cody, Max Muncy haven't even played their best. Mookie Betts is just like in a little super mini slump for Mookie Betts. So I think this offense is going to be just fine, and I think that they'll reach their full potential come postseason. But I think it's very interesting, the idea of exploring a starting pitcher. But here we go. I think they should stand pat and not make any moves from Tina. We got Freeman is the Jerry West of baseball. I like that comparison. Jerry West, the logo. I don't think we're going to see Andrew Freeman as the MLB logo. That'd be kind of cool one of these days. But he's definitely a GM that plays chess and not checkers. He's a guy that doesn't make rash decisions. He's only going to make moves that he thinks they can help this club. He's not going to commit long-term to guys like Manny Machado. He's going to pay guys like Mookie Betts, $365 million for Mookie Betts. So I think that he has a long way to go to be considered a Jerry West. A Jerry West, a guy who brought in Kobe and Shaq. He made the trade to get Kobe, and he was responsible for – look, Jerry West responsible for at least 3, 4. I mean, when you consider the Warriors championships, because he closed the deal on the Durant. Now he's with the Clippers. Going on a little bit of a tangent here, but he's got a far way to go. He's got a ways to go to be in the conversation with Jerry West as one of the best general managers. But, hey, I wouldn't trade Andrew Freeman for anyone in Major League Baseball because he develops a farm system. He uses his free agent money wisely, and yeah, I'm a big Andrew Freeman fan. No, let we ride. We already have Price on COVID waiver. I don't want to mess with team chemistry at this point. This is from Clay Dunsmore. Let's see how we do with our new additions with Mook and Trinan as our new additions this year. Yeah, you don't want to go too crazy because this team already has a chemistry. This team, you can tell, they're a tight-knit bunch out there. And they're always very excited when their other teammates have success. So you don't want to mess with success too much. So there is that, and like I said, there's a quick turnaround before this postseason begins, and we're almost halfway there. Sunday is the halfway point. Free Joe Kelly from Dodgers Dune. We got Dodgers Dune. That's now 8 wins out of the last 9. Go Dodgers. Harold, no need to worry about the Padres either. We got Heat Check for the Rockies. Jason, 1988, the last time both the Dodgers and Lakers won a championship. This is the year it will happen again. Hey, I love that. Big facts from a major who we got here? Oh, from Jason. Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. That'd be great for this town if the Dodgers could get it done and the Lakers get it done with only a matter of a couple of weeks. It would only be a couple of weeks from each other. Of course, that 1988 championship, a very memorable one. Of course, that was Lakers Pistons, and then you got Dodgers A's, which it could be a rematch of Dodgers A's with the way they're playing. The Dodgers play the A's, so could be a World Series preview. But Jesus, I'm enjoying new Laker and Dodger games are coinciding. Unpopular opinion, they should have the NBA playoffs this time around now. So you like the NBA playoffs where they are? Would you please lay off the chicken? Wes with Shaq and Andrew with Mookie, 3-peats maybe, Jose Rod. Clay, our ERA and hit averages are best in the league. No need to improve when you're already at top 3. Just refine our hitters below 200 and work on our pitchers who are over 3 ERA. Dodgers and Lakers 2020 champions. Ryan, Manny, Engel, Scraper, Machado. Tina G-Man, we got more teams will be in the NBA playoffs, so there may not be that many sellers this year. Oh, yeah. No, more teams will be in the playoffs, so there may not be that many sellers this season. That's a great point, Tina G-Man, because, look, you're talking about a 3-game opening round. If you can just get into the dance, you don't want to give up your talent because, hey, you want to give your fan base a little hope, and I think that's a great point. I think that's definitely going to affect the market. So pay attention to the standings in the next couple of days because if you look at the standings, that will tell you which teams might be sellers, which teams might be not, and then who has players available. I was talking about Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn in the AL West, the Rangers are 10-15. They're basically done. They're cooked. And gosh, 8-18 for the Angels, man. That just hurts me. Look, Mike Trout is the best player in the game and has not been in the playoffs in like 5 years. So, but if you look at the AL Central, Twins and the Indians are the top 2 teams. The White Sox, I think the White Sox are a team that could get hot. The White Sox is like my sleeper World Series team. I think we might see a little 1958 World Series rematch. Dodgers, White Sox possibly. And if you look at the NL, Braves and Marlins and Mets are still in the mix because the Marlins have a lot of makeup games. I think the Mets have a couple makeup games now. The Mets, man, tons of. Look at the Mets. Look at that. The NL East. A lot of teams still in the mix in the NL East with the reigning champions, the Washington Nationals, sitting in the cellar at 9-13. But if you look at the NL Central, the Cubs and the Cardinals have a lot of makeup games, and then the Reds sitting at 11-13. So 11-13. If you want Trevor Bauer, if you want to make a move, they're probably going to be eliminated in the next couple weeks. So I do think, man, I don't know. We're gonna have a lot of time to break all that down, talk trades. But I do think the Dodgers, they can win a World Series with the roster as constructed. They have the pitching from the bullpen to starters to offensively. And I think they can win without. But if they're so close and a deal is there for the taking, I think it's possible. Today, the Dodgers now 20-8 on the season. First team to 20 wins. The Padres are in second place at 16-12. 4 games behind the boys in blue. But let's break down this Walker Buehler performance a little deeper. So, like I said, when he has command of his fastball, he's unstoppable. And tonight he was attacking hitters, pounding that strike zone. And heading into tonight, he hadn't gone past 5 innings in any of his starts this year. And he hadn't gone 5 starts without getting a win. So you knew something had to give tonight for Walker Buehler. And in the first inning, Tapia flied out. And then on a 2-1 curveball, it was just a thing of beauty. It falls through the trap door to Story. That makes it 2-2. Then he throws it past Story for his first strikeout of the game. And you're seeing him hit 98 on the fastball. So some straight smoke from Walker Buehler. And the Rockies were dead last in road strikeout swinging. So the Rockies, they strike out a lot. And you saw it tonight. Blackman grounded into the ship. Muncy to Beatty for the first out. And then the Dodgers went to work on the offensive end, scoring a run in the first. In the second inning for Walker Buehler, only 10 pitches. Arenado grounds out to second. Murphy lines to right. And then this is one of the best sequences of the night for Walker Buehler. He falls behind 3-1. Then he throws 2 cutters for strikes. So he was missing with his cutter all season long. He was landing it tonight. And then he hits Matt Kemp. Then he comes back. He hits Matt Kemp with 2 cutters. And he comes back to punch him out looking with some 97-mile-per-hour gas right down the pipe. Matt Kemp, one of my favorite Dodgers of all time. To me, he'll always be a favorite Dodger. Matt Kemp's the man. And then the third inning, 11 pitches for Walker Buehler. It was 6 up, 6 down to that point, and he throws a nice curve for a strike on McMahon, a curve for a second strike. Got McMahon swinging on some 97 mile per hour smoke on the outside corner. Then he gets Hilliard swinging and missing. So he was just throwing that fastball by hitters tonight, and he was also getting a lot of easy fly outs. He got Buehler to fly out to Beatty with just an infield fly. So 9 up, 9 down, 4 Ks with his heater touching 99. So that heater clocked in at 99 on the gun in the third inning. Then the fourth inning, Buehler gets his 5th punch out on a 1-2 pitch to get Tappy on a fastball on the inside corner. Retired his first 10, 6 strikeout. He gets Trevor Story on a 97 mile per hour fastball upstairs, and you just also saw the exceptional movement with Walker Buehler tonight. He had the movement combined with the velo, and that's when he becomes unhittable. Retired the first 11 batters in a row before Story singled to center. So did you guys get those no-hitter vibes? Let me know down below in the comments. He's going to get one at some point. He was a part of a team no-hitter, so I guess that counts. But, yeah, he was a different guy tonight. So after Story got that first hit, he gets Arenado swinging on a wicked 93 mile per hour cutter. So Arenado, by the way, do you guys think Arenado is overrated, underrated? I mean, he hits 143 outside of Coors, does most of his work in the friendly confines of the circus show that is Coors Field. So 7 strikeouts through 4 innings for Walker Buehler. Then in the 5th, another easy inning for Walker Buehler. He got Murphy to ground out. Matt Kemp strikes out on another cutter, and then he fooled McMahon on a curve. So he just made McMahon look silly on that curve, and that's when Walker Buehler is at his best because for a guy to throw that kind of velocity but have the ability to throw curveballs and sliders and cutters the way he does, that's what makes him so special. Then the last inning for Walker Buehler, he gets Hilliard on a high fastball. And that's another thing, too. He was punishing the Rockies tonight with that elevated heat, and that's how he got Hilliard. It was the 8th career 10 strikeout game, 9 strikeouts he struck out 9 of the last 11 outs at that point in the game. And he gets Buehler so this is where he got into trouble. So let's break down the inning where he got into a little bit of trouble. Buehler gets his 2nd hit of the night with a line drive base hit into right. Tapia gets a ground ball base hit into right. Story singled to third for the 3rd hit in a row against Walker Buehler. So 3 hits against Walker Buehler in a row in the 6th inning. That scored Buehler, making it 4-1 Dodgers. And then he strikes out Blackmon on an 84 miles per hour knuckle curve that was sweet. So that puts it. That gave the Rockies 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. And then Arenado got some good wood on one that really would have made things interesting because it was hard contact. Jock Peterson got a great jump on it, and he hits a deep fly ball to right, but Jock makes a great catch. Nice jump on it. So 1 run, 3 hits in the 6th, and that was it for Walker Buehler. And that's another thing you want to look at, too. How would he fare the 3rd time around in the lineup? This year, hitters are averaging 94 the first at-bat. Hitters are averaging 94. Hitters are hitting 94 against Walker Buehler the first time around, 214 the second time around, and 400 the third. So you saw there as another example that they were starting to hit him 3 singles in that inning. So he's still going to grow. He's still going to ramp up and build that strength, and I think you'll see him go even deeper into the game in his next start. But here we go, guys. Down below in the comments, Joseph Megazzani, late to the party, but better late than never. We basically been singing Walker Buehler's praises. Butane did his thing tonight against the Rockies. 11 strikeouts and no walks for Walker Buehler. Dodgers get the win. The first team in Major League Baseball to 20 wins. Best record in the game. But who's watching the NBA from Czech Roll? The support of the Burn Loot Murder Movement has... Ooh. All right. Buehler from Jason. Harold, I wanted Arenado as a future third baseman, but I don't know. Yeah, there have been talks about the Dodgers and Walker Buehler And no, the Dodgers and Nolan Arenado, because he's not happy in Colorado. You know that Justin Turner. Look, to me, Justin Turner has played stellar defense this year at third. Did have that error in the Arizona game where they lost that cost them that night, but for the most part, he's still making plays over there at the hot corner. So there was talk about maybe making a trade, but I think Arenado, to me, I wouldn't even take a flyer on him. I know he would love to be a Dodger, but to me, that batting average outside of Coors, to me, hitting 143 outside of Coors Field, to me, that makes it a non-starter. You talked about Clevenger earlier. Look, the Dodgers inquired about Clevenger at some point during the winter, so it's not like people just pulling it out of nowhere. There is some mutual interest there with the Dodgers and Mike Clevenger. You were talking about that. There you go. Oh, this is my T-shirt banner up there. There we go. By the way, go to DodgersNation.com/shop. Gear up, get merched up. The Dodgers Joe Kelly shirt was the hottest shirt in the game. The Dodgers Nation shirt, the nice swing, blank. I don't want to censor. This is a family post-game show. I don't want to be cussing on here, but a lot of great gear over there. More to come. The new Mookie Betts shirt, the new Death Row shirt designed by my man Ed's Life Journey, who also designed the logo of the show. Very talented. Also, be sure to check for the Blue Heaven podcast hosted by the senior editors of Dodgers Nation, Brooke Smith and Clint Pasillas. But yeah, let's jump back into these comments. Hello, we got what up, Doug, from Corey. What up, Corey? How's it going, Corey Davids? Clay, hoping we can steal Tatis one day in a trade. That would be hilarious. If the Padres keep chewing Tatis out for 3-0 walks, he'll be around in no time. LOL, LOL, go Blue. That's a great point, Clay. It would be the greatest come up to get Tatis Jr. because, hey, he's a player where you might feel a certain way if he's not on your team. I think at this point, he's pretty much universally loved in Major League Baseball for his flair. He's an electric player, and he's exactly what this league needs. And that's a great point. I was just blown away. I was just blown away with the way they handled that situation. Because, look, to me, 7 runs in a Major League Baseball game, that's not 49-0 in a football game. You don't take a knee at that point. At that point in the game, you just never know. And there's just so many different things involved. And to me, I've never been to a game and thought, hey, I want this guy to just, take a walk on 3-0. I want this guy to just ground out. No, I want to see as many runs. I want to see athletes do as much as they can and try to push the game as far as they can. But, yeah, Hosmer talking to him and Tingler talking to him, I think that's something he should consider because, the Padres are going to offer him a massive deal and a massive extension. But if I'm Fernando Tatis Jr., I'm saying, hey, you didn't have my back there when I'm trying to change the game. I'm trying to take these unwritten rules and rip them up into a million pieces because they're bad for baseball, okay? You want to see athletes take this as far as they can. Give me 5 grand slams a game. I don't care. Look, if you can't – look, how about you try to get me out, mano y mano? Look, I'm not here to be. This is no sportsmanship. This is professional athletics. This isn't Little League where there's mercy rules. Because if you want to put a mercy rule in there, you can join your local Little League or softball league because that's not happening in Major League Baseball. And look, let's say you're a player that isn't of Fernando Tatis's caliber, and you're trying to goose your statistics any way you can, and you're trying to put up numbers for negotiation's sake. So, I mean, hey, it's all about getting paid for a lot of these players, so I had no issues with that. We could go on and on about that. But, yeah, guys, we're about to wrap things up here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Big win for the Dodgers, 5-1 over the Rockies in the first of a 3-game weekend series. But let's get a couple more takes in here. Give me your fire Dodger takes. Throw them here into the comments. And, by the way, if you guys want, head over to he'll talk about that Sunday. But we're going to podcast this. It's already out. And we're going to podcast this and put all the best questions from you guys in there so you can listen to the next day. We're going to add some stuff, too, some more takes, analysis, that kind of thing. Harold, can Price opt back in? Hey, it's possible, right? It's possible, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, so I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, you saw what You saw what the Braves player Nick Markakis did. He opted back in, but I think David Price, especially when you consider the tweet he had about player safety, I don't think he has any interest, especially he's a pitcher too. He's a pitcher. It's going to require a ramp up. David Price, we'll see you in 2021. But great as always, Doug from Doug. Hey, thanks, my man, Jose Rod. Lakers and Dodgers win tomorrow. That's what's up. That's the vibes I'm looking for. Clay, yeah, Doug, let's put him in between Mook and Corey. What really put me off was when the manager chewed him out in the post-game interview. Always something to think about, Doug. Yeah, exactly. Look, man, hey, say what you want about Dave Roberts. I happen to be a fan of Dave Roberts. I happen to think that Dave Roberts already won a World Series in 2017. So Dodger fans that want to say, hey, we won the World Series in 2017, and if it weren't for the cheating Astros, that's our World Series. But then also want to say, oh, Dave Roberts can't get it done in the postseason. Pick which one you want to roll with, because to me, Dave Roberts should be a World Series winning manager. So... but yeah, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Can rock with you guys all night here in the Dodgers Nation post-game show. But a couple things as we head out. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. Head over to Dodgers Nation for all the hottest Dodger content in the game. Articles, analysis from the greatest Dodger writers out there. AJ Gonzalez, Brooks Smith, Clint Pasillas, the team over there, Marshall Garvey. They get it done. Definitely go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/DodgersNationTV, youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and then a couple more things. Just have a great night. See you guys Sunday. We'll be back again with another edition of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. See you guys Sunday. Bleed blue as always. Go Dodgers, and I'm out.